I just can't take this. It's so heartbreaking.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do the review of a book that I recently finished reading, which is A Little Life by Hanya Yanakihara. So this is a monster of a book, around 720 pages long. If you have seen my reading vlog, which I posted just a while ago, you already know that I absolutely adored this book. This is one of the best books that I ever read in my life, hands down. This book has it all. It has love, it has friendship, it has life gyan. So gyan is a word which means shrewd insight. So it has life gyan, it has happiness, it has the sweetness of success, and oh my god, representation. It has gays, it has lesbians, it has people of color. So all in all, a beautiful, lovely, happy book. You think, but it's not. It is interlaced with absolutely unbearable pain, physical and mental pain. And you have people with the tendency of suicide, people with addiction, then you have childhood abuse, you have physical abuse, you have sexual abuse, and poverty, depression, betrayal, self-loathing, angst, you name it, anything and everything under the sun that will make you cry is there in this book as well. So basically it's a hodgepodge of all kind of good things and bad things, and mostly bad things in life, kind of like life, but it is a life that none of us really want. The book is basically the story of four friends, Jude, JB, Willem, and Malcolm. They meet up in college and then they remain friends for the rest of their lives, and absolutely adorable characters, each one of them. And they're extremely talented in their own fields, intelligent, loving, caring, kind individuals. However, mostly the book concentrate on the story of Jude, how the life of other three friends is influenced by the journey of Jude's life. That's what basically the book is about. So this review that I'm doing, in the beginning I'll be doing a absolutely spoiler free general review, and then I later try to get into specifics where I might give away certain uh, aspects of the story which might be considered as spoilers. So when I'm getting there, I will put up an alert for spoilers. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the story, as I said, revolves around these four guys who met up in a small college in Massachusetts, and they moved to New York for, building their life and finding jobs. And at that point, they're all broke. Most of them, because Malcolm is not that broke. He comes from a rich family. He gets his allowance and he already has a job as an architect. And Willem is the most kindest of all, and he is aspiring to be an actor. Then you have JB. He wants to be a artist or a painter, and he's kind of quick-witted, but sometimes he can be ruthless also with his words. And then you have Jude, my favorite character. Oh, poor Jude. He comes from we don't know where. He is an orphan essentially, and none of the other three guys know about his past. So these are the four guys, and by middle age, they're all in a good position. How they, through their sheer ambition and hard work, reach where they reach. However, Jude, even though enjoying the success that comes with his absolutely great career as a lawyer, he is increasingly becoming broken due to his physical and mental pain that he goes through. And friends around him help him to go through the difficulties in life, especially his closest friend, who is Willem. Yanagihara is extremely skillful in tearing apart our heart page by page with surgical precision, using her cutthroat, beautiful, wonderful prose he writes. And especially the parts where she takes us through Jude's past, which is unthinkable, miserable past. You can't even imagine how he survived that past. You read through those passages, and it's almost as if you're living that life. And that's how powerful and beautiful her prose is. And by the time you're crying and weeping like a baby, you are brought forward to the present, where he has this wonderful holy friendship with JB Willem and Malcolm, where he is blessed with the happiness and kindness, especially of Willem. Willem, oh Willem, he is my second favorite character in the book. He is kind, he is gorgeous, he is understanding and enduring. Even though he doesn't know much about Jude's past, he's always there. He's always there to console him when he is going through a rough patch. None of the guys know what has happened to Jude exactly. He is so secretive about his past and why he doesn't want to talk about his past. And they make fun of him about it. They taunt him, and no matter what they do, they are not able to get anything about his past from him. Gradually he does open up to certain people in the book, and that's how we come to know what happens to him in the past. And you wish you hadn't. You do not want to know what happened to him, because I don't think any one of us could survive what Jude went through. Yes, and it is that bad. Jude is, and Willem is there for Jude all the time whenever he needs him, even when he is throwing the biggest of tantrum for whatever reason. You will know it is justifiable tantrums, anywho. These guys are there for him, and especially Willem. And this book shows how friendship actually should be, how unconditional it should be. And sometimes it also gives you a window into how it should not be, what you should not be in a friendship. Most books, especially love stories or stories of friendship, are extremely successful in explaining heartbreak and pain of the heart, right? In this book, what I like about Yana Gihara's writing is the extent to which she went explaining the physical pain that Jude went through. Very few books do that. Yana Gihara did a wonderful job on explaining that, because most of the books that I have read before always underplays physical pain. If I'm wrong, please correct me and suggest me if some of the books have the same kind of narration of physical pain. This is what another observation of mine, which Yana Gihara has done wonderfully in this book. Jude is my new favorite literary character of all time. There is so much to learn from him, to look at hope, uh, to cling on to hope when there seems to be none, to believe in love when you have been betrayed all your life, to believe in friendship when you have none growing up. Something which takes incredible willpower and courage. And Jude is someone who teaches that his life is something that needs to be studied and understood. There are many things that he does wrong. He does cutting, he attempts suicide, he closes himself up, he doesn't open up, he doesn't share, which actually sometimes I feel does lead to many miserable things. If you remove all those parts, there is so much to learn from Jude. So enduring of things that happens to him. What I don't like about him is his apologetic nature, that he apologizes for things that others are responsible for, and he is not at fault, and then he keeps apologizing. That's one thing I wish he hadn't done, but then that's what Jude is all about. He is a light puppy of a soul. Now we are getting into the spoiler full part of the review. So I'm guessing that you would have also read this book by now if you're ready for a spoiler review. For me, Jude's story is a story of hope against hopelessness, because he has gone through so much in his past: sexual abuse, physical abuse, violence, abandonment, betrayal after betrayal, and still he it opens up to these three individuals and is ready to accept them as friends, because believe me, after what he has gone through, I don't think if I had gone through that, I would open up to anybody. I would be wary all the time. I would always be looking over my shoulder. But he lets himself be comfortable around these three people who, luckily for him, are extremely genuine and love him and are ready to, you know, do anything for him, especially Willem. That shows how much hopeful he is, considering how hopeless his past is. Especially there is this one passage which really I think it is the POV of Jude, where he is saying the same thing essentially. I would like to read that out to you. It's page number 143 if you're interested. He knew Andy thought he was self destructive or delusional or in denial. But what Andy never understood about him was this: he was an optimist. Every month, every week, he chose to open his eyes to live another day in the world. He did it when he was feeling so awful that sometimes the pain seemed to transport him to another state, one in which everything, even the past that he worked so hard to forget, seemed to fade into a grey watercolor wash. He did it when his memories crowded out all other thoughts, when it took real effort, real concentration to tether himself to his current life, to keep himself from raging with despair and shame. He did it when he was so exhausted of trying, when being awake and alive demanded such energy that he had to lie in bed thinking of reasons to get up and try again, when it would be much easier to go to the bathroom and untape the plastic zipped bag containing his cotton pads and loose razors and alcohol wipes and bandages from its hiding place beneath the sink and simply surrender. Those were the bad days. It shows that how much willpower it took for him to just get through those days where he was feeling utterly miserable, utterly depressed, alone and lonely and scared and angsty. And it really takes a lot, because for me, I just have a bad day at work and then I am depressed for 2 days. I cannot even imagine how much courage it takes for someone like this to get through uh, the bad days. And you know what they highlight for me in this book is it's the love story between Jude and Willem. I actually did not initially like the idea that they hook up, or you can't call it hook up. They are actually in love, and I didn't like the fact that their relationship or their friendship graduated into a sexual one. But then when it started progressing, Yanagihara has done a fantastic job in writing a beautiful love story amidst this in extreme physical pain and mental breakdown and trauma Jude is going through. It's one of my favorite literary love story of all time. Forget Romeo and Juliet. I mean, this Jude and Willem is my new Romeo and Juliet. They are amazing with each other. They are understanding. There are absolutely no judgment. They are there for each other whenever they need. They are sacrificing and they are supportive of each other. Even when Jude is going through extreme situations, and sometimes he uh, blocks everybody around him, and even Willem, and Willem is understanding of that. And only at some point, Willem breaks down. And I know if you've read the book, you know what I'm talking about, where they are in Harold and Julia's house, and he couldn't take it anymore, and he starts harming himself. So that was a heartbreaking scene. Now that takes me to my favorite scene of the book. Favorite scene need not be just happy scenes, it could be sad, heartbreaking, devastating scenes, as well as heartwarming, gorgeous, love filled, happiness filled scenes as well. So for me, I'm just trying to remember. I didn't write anything down. One scene definitely is where Willem in Harold and Julia's house breaks down, and he starts cutting himself. The second would be where that was such a heartbreaking scene. I cried my eyes out. That's when JB is so high or out of his mind and mimics Jude. That was, I'm like, oh, JB, come on, don't do it. And oh, That was a crazy scene. Then the second scene is where it's a flashback scene where uh, somebody comes to adopt him while he was at the home, and then he goes and stays with them for a week or something, and then he comes back and he believes that, and he's so confident that he will get adopted because they were so good to him, and but then they don't call. He goes and then asks one of the brothers that what should he do to get adopted, let me know, please let me know what can I do, what can I do to make it right. So the desperation of him, to have a family, somebody to care for him. Then the next scene would be when he actually gets adopted, and that was such a nice, beautiful scene. I felt really happy, and then I was like, okay, fine, it's done. Everything is going well for Jude now. He's in safe hands. I know. I really did not like the repetitive, mundane, daily chores. There was so much repetition of these, him getting up or somebody else getting up and then washing the dishes, going to office, coming back, he is having a breakdown again, and then I lost track. So that really dragged out, especially in the part The Happy Years and Dear Comrade. But otherwise, it's fine. Another thing that I didn't like is the third person narration sometimes confused me. Like I said in my reading vlog, it was kind of confusing for me, maybe because that I'm dumb. I don't know, that's just nitpicking maybe. But that's it. Otherwise, it's a perfect, beautiful book. Did I guess the ending? Absolutely yes. But what I didn't see coming was the tragedy that hit us right before the ending. That was unforeseeable and unpredictable. I didn't see that coming. And when this happened, I was like sure of what's going to happen to Jude or what's going to happen at the end. I have one small minor negative about this book, which is the length of this book. I wouldn't say I got bored as such, but I felt that some parts of the book were dragged, especially the part The Happy Years, and I think the next one, Dear Comrade, was dragged. There was a lot of unnecessary musings, I think. I think The Happy Years could have been 50 pages less. But that's a minor thing to pick on. I still love this book. I still adore this book. I will still recommend this book to others. And I will also pick up this book in a few years when I have nothing else to do but just cry. So, all in all, a wonderful book. Please go and check out my reading vlog. You will see how much I cried, how miserable I was reading this book.
I just can't take this. It's so heartbreaking.
That was my very, very short review of A Little Life. Go right now, grab the book, start reading, and cry away. And guys, please like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel. It will really help me grow. Also, please let me know what kind of bookish videos or vlogs you want me to do. I will definitely do them. And yeah, see you in my next video. Bye.